That one is north of Minnesota. And that's the one we were talking about, is going to be delivering the rain shower activity for us as we move through the late morning and early afternoon tomorrow. Right now, that front is running from the Red River Valley area, that area between the Dakotas and Minnesota, all the way over into Wyoming. And that front eventually will be moving into the west side of the state in the early morning hours tomorrow morning and work its way through the Great Lakes Bay area sometime about 2 or so in the afternoon tomorrow. But ahead of it is where we're going to see the bulk of the precipitation. Whatever we do get is going to happen probably maybe an hour or so before the noon hour, after 9:30 tomorrow morning, and then taper off rather rapidly, leaving us with some isolated cells as we go in through the early afternoon hours before things finally clear off. Now, today, we're forecasted to get up into 80 degrees. Matthew, what do we have right now for our temperatures?
Well, over at the airport, it's sunny at 71. At Midland, it's sunny at 72. Here at Radio Center, it's sunny at 70. We have our humidity is at 60. We have southwest winds at 4, gusting up to 9. And our pressure for the day is 29.92, and it's falling.
Now, we'll see the winds pick up, come out of the south later on this evening, more than likely after midnight. We should see some 20 to possibly 30 mile per hour wind gusts as we go through the nighttime hours. And then tomorrow it's going to be southwesterly, gusting up to 35 miles per hour, sustained winds of close to 20. And then with the passage of that cold front, the wind direction will change and the wind speeds will die down by later on tomorrow afternoon and into the evening hours with mostly clear skies. We're going to have a northwest wind at about 10 miles per hour, and that northwest wind will continue into the day on Friday. So mostly sunny skies in the forecast for Friday, 75, 76 degrees. But then as we move into the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, we're looking for very little, if any, chance of precipitation, with high temperatures starting off the weekend right around 80. And then Sunday, upper 80s. Some of you will hear 90 degrees. Then Monday and Tuesday to start off the work week next week, low 80s. But again, as I said, the majority of the precipitation will be well away from us. So I'm not looking for anything in the way of measurable amount of precipitation. There is a tropical storm right now that is developing off Baja that is going to generate in a Pacific hurricane as we move into the end of the weekend and into the first part of the work week next week. And that's going to spell some precipitation in the desert areas, the southwest corner of the continental United States. Record high in this state is 96, set back in 1936. The record low 41, set in 1979. A year ago, 80 was our high, 56 was our low. Sun will set this evening, and you'll see it again, 8:38. Rise tomorrow morning at 6:43. With fingers crossed, maybe you'll see a sunrise. I think the clouds, though, are going to be moving in. If not before sunrise, probably right after sunrise. Now, August, as far as precipitation goes, normally is right around 3.85 inches of precipitation. We are expecting that system to move through tomorrow. Some of the immediate thoughts are somewhere between a third of an inch and a half an inch of precipitation out of it as it moves through. If that is the case, it will kick our precipitation value so far above normal, because right now at the airport, we're looking at 3.77 inches of rain. And some in the rain gauges have been talking at least that over the past week. So many areas are well over 4 inches in the Great Lakes Bay area, but officially at the airport, it is 3.77. Incidentally, the wettest August on record is back in 2012, where we had 9 43/100ths of an inch of precipitation, and more than 6 inches of that happened in one day. More on the weather as we go through the broadcast. Standing by, who do we have, Matthew?
Up next, we have Cody Harris from Star of the West and Doug Klein from Oppenheimer.
But before we get to all of that, we want to remind you the weather forecast brought to you by the folks at Nutrient Ag Solutions.
Nutrien Ag Solutions has the local expertise to recommend the corn, soybean, and other seed products that are the best fit for your field. Plus, unparalleled agronomic support with products and services to unlock yield potential and improve crop performance from planting to harvest. Ask about our financing options to help you get more from every acre and lead the field. Visit your local Nutrien Ag Solutions branch or go to nutrienagsolutions.com.
They say there's a secret to growing a great crop. At Nutrien Ag Solutions, they beg to differ. It all starts with a strong foundation, and when it comes to fertilizer, there's no question that Titan XE drives dry fertilizer performance. They've been unlocking the potential in every prill of dry fertilizer with biocatalyst technology for over a decade. Visit lpi.ag/Titan or contact your Nutrien Ag Solutions crop consultant to drive your crop's potential today. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at the Michael Sarr Crop Insurance Agency. Risk management, that's what it's all about. Thank goodness you are working with the Michael Sarr Crop Insurance Agency, right? Given the fact of what's been going on with this weather. Yeah, we're trying to protect ourselves against what Mother Nature is throwing at us right now. But you can also take advantage of the good things when you work your risk management through the Michael Sarr Crop Insurance Agency. Remember, they're licensed to serve all of Michigan with both conventional and organic crop insurance, and you can reach their agents on their cell for questions or emergencies, or you can call the office in Reese, 989-868-4722, the Michael Sarr Crop Insurance Agency. We say good morning to Cody Harris over at Star of the West. Cody, good day for you today.
It seems like it's been a while, but it's nice to have a little good news as far as the grain markets are concerned.
Yeah, you've waited long enough, I'll tell you. And it looks like soybeans were having a pretty good day here so far.
Yeah, definitely soybeans are leading the way, kind of rallying off the same news as corn and wheat as well. But as far as soybeans are concerned, it seems like they're also getting pulled up by some soybean oil. I think that's up for the third straight day here. That's basically being helped by the strong palm oil market and increasing usage for biodiesel. So that's why that's kind of leading the board here right now. But kind of diving into it, cash wheat we got at the moment is up 6, 574 on the white, 519 on the red. New crop 2024 wheat, that's up 3. 655 on the white, 595 on the red. Looking over at corn, cash corn is up 8 at 477. New crop corn is also up 8 at 423. Like I said, the big mover soybeans, cash soybeans are up 25 here at 1340, and new crop soybeans are also up 25 at 1260.
So the thought is everything else is being dragged up by the soybeans?
Well, soybeans is definitely a leader, but they're all kind of rallying on the same news. We got news overnight that Russia again attacked Odessa with drones. They also attacked some grain silos and warehouses at the port of Henne on the Danube River. So that report, I guess, the reports right now are that those locations or that port is still operational. But there's the uncertainty that now in the Black Sea with respect to exports may be a little more in question than we thought maybe the last couple weeks or so. But it seems like, especially with wheat being a little bit oversold here the last few weeks, this news coming out of Russia here this morning is definitely helping our markets out, as where a lot of people are looking to the U.S. to maybe cover a little bit of that demand. But across the board, that's really what the markets are rallying on here today.
All right. Good information. We appreciate it, Cody. You have a great day.
You as well. Thank you, guys.
You bet. Cody Harris over at Star of the West. Over to Oppenheimer we go with Doug Klein. The market report brought to you by Thumb Bank, serving the needs of agriculture for well over 125 years. And now they've got 13 locations all across Michigan's Thumb and the Great Lakes Bay region. Thumb Bank, where relationships are built on trust. And by the folks at Schaefer and Beerline, new Ram commercial truck inventory is in at Schaefer and Beerline in Frankenmuth. So if you're in the market for a new Ram 1500, a Ram heavy-duty pickup, a ProMaster van, or Ram commercial truck, and you want to buy with confidence from a dealer that knows what customer satisfaction truly is, now's the time to see Schaefer and Beerline in Frankenmuth, where family and service sell cars. Good morning, Doug.
Good morning.
Well, the old slippery slope is working in our direction right now.
For now. Oh, boy. Well, the news says they want to call it a rich session, not a recession, but a rich session. They say a lot of the layoffs are coming in the white collar arena, so that's good. The super wealthy have to go looking for another way to earn $1 billion next year to replace the yacht that Putin sank or whatever happened over there.
But now they got to pay taxes on it.
Right, boy. Anyway, yeah, that's the interesting side of the whole market. The grain side, moving up a little bit. Energy's moving down a bit. The natural gas numbers came in after the market closed yesterday, and there was a build and lower demand. So I look at the news feed on natural gas, and it basically says every 2 weeks it changes. It goes from lower demand and higher output, and then the next 2 weeks later it's higher demand and lower output, and it almost seems bought and paid for. But whatever, it's almost tradable on a 2-week basis if you're really nimble. Anyway, well, here's your numbers. The September corn is 472.5, up 8.5. December corn 484.25, up 8 3/4. The November soybeans 1330.5, up 25 1/4. March soybeans 1343.5, up 23 1/4. September wheat 604 3/4, up 6 1/4, and December wheat is 630 1/4, up 6 1/2. So crude oil is not down much, 80.89, down a dime. Heating oil is 302.06, down 7/10 of a penny. Gasoline is 287.33, that's up 2.5 cents. Natural gas is 322.5, that's down 6 cents. More to currencies, Canadian dollar. U.S. dollar buys $1.3509 at the border, that's up 12 ticks. The dollar buys 145.83 yen, that's up 26 ticks. The euro's at 109, that's down about a half a tick. And the dollar's at 103.18, that's down about 2 ticks. Gold is at 1904.50, that's up $2. Silver's 22.65, that's down, well, maybe a tenth of a penny. And then platinum's at 897.70, that's up $5.50.
All right. Doug, thank you.
Okay.
We'll talk to you again tomorrow.
Will do. All right.
Doug Klein over at Oppenheimer. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Quality Roasting of Reese, offering competitive, consistent prices for your soybeans. Give them a call for a quote today. And by the folks at the Frankenmuth Credit Union. Here's a reminder, our Farm Service Summer Tour continues. It'll be next week, a week from today. We'll be at the Saginaw Valley Research and Extension Farm, where the Beaten Bean Day will be held. So we'll have a lot more information on that. Again, the tour brought to you by the folks at the Frankenmuth Credit Union, where they do have lines of credit, equipment loans, financing for purchasing land, credit cards, and more. So stop by any of their conveniently located offices and see how they can become your hometown financial solution. Find out more by going to frankenmuthcu.org. We say good morning now to Matthew Who.
Up next, we have Ed Benkert from Nutrient Ag.
Ed, good morning. How are you?
Hey, good morning, Terry. How are you?
Well, not too bad. Did you put the water wings in the back seat for today?
Well, I tell you what, to go from where we were 6-8 weeks ago to where we are today, and what we still have maybe coming Thursday, things have changed dramatically, which for the most part has been good, but disease pressure probably is something that we need to focus on. And we've been focusing on that for 2 to 4 weeks, but white mold in soybeans, I had a little report today that we're seeing a little bit of it out in the thumb. So that's a preventative measure that, if we're seeing it now, it's too late. But a lot of producers and our crop consultants have been promoting, watching seeding rates and certainly variety selection. With the Dynagrow brand, we do have several varieties that have pretty good white mold tolerance. And that's probably the one thing in the next 2 to 3 weeks, along with tar spot and spraying corn, that we need to be really focusing on.
Yeah, I was kind of curious about the different varieties and how resistant they are and what they've been looking at so far, not just with soybeans, but also corn. We've heard a lot of comments about some tar spot resistant varieties, or not necessarily resistant, but they hold up better under tar spot.
Yeah, there are certain genetic backgrounds and certain genetic suppliers that will definitely. A couple years ago, when we had tar spot bad in central Michigan, we saw it in our test plots. Certain hybrids and brands really went backwards, and other hybrids and brands held in there pretty good. But for the most part, if we do get heavy tar spot, which it's in the state, I think it's been identified in 8 or 9 counties now. We really need to look at a fungicide, and a lot of the growers have been doing that. It kind of gives you that extra protection, but certainly picking varieties that have good tar spot tolerance is certainly a wise move as well. We just don't want to give up yield if we're going to do that.
Yeah. As far as the corn goes, we continue to see it grow. A lot of reports as far as how tall the corn is this year. Any concern at all about really we're running below average on growing degree days this year? Is some of this crop going to be a little bit later than originally thought?
Today, standing here, yes, we are a little behind. A lot of our corn got planted pretty timely, though, and it's in really good shape with the moisture. As long as we got a stand, there were some late emerging corn that in spots and fields. It's hard to remember that, but 2 months ago we had pockets and fields that weren't even emerged, and we had corn 2 foot tall. But we need some heat. We definitely need heat. If we get our normal frost date around the middle of October, I think we're going to make it. It's just how dry is it going to be when it finally black layers and has time to actually dry down naturally. But yes, definitely, Terry, we could use some heat. So turn the heater up a little bit.
Yeah, I guess so. And as far as sugar beets are concerned, there was a lot of concern early about tonnage. Well, they're not going to have to worry about tonnage at all this year.
I was just talking to a couple of my buddies who raise a lot of beets, and they're really excited. I think the big thing is keeping them healthy. It's been challenging keeping on a spray schedule with the rain and the wet conditions, and we can keep them healthy and keep them green and keep Cercospora and some of the diseases out of them in the next 3 to 4 weeks. We should have a fantastic sugar beet crop.
Yeah, and as far as the early dig goes, I know initially it was after Labor Day, but now I'm hearing that could possibly be a little bit earlier. I guess a lot is just going to have to be what you folks out in the field are seeing and how quickly we need to move on that crop before it gets to the point where we're not going to be able to handle it.
Exactly. Yeah. Rain makes beets, makes tons. Sugar accumulation may be a little bit weaker early with them being so green and growing so actively. That would be a negative. But, again, we got to process this crop, and I don't know if they've determined yet when they're going to dig, but I think it's going to be a big crop.
Yeah, I think everything is right now up in the air, and everybody is just, well, let's see. Let's see. No rush. Let's see. But,
and then hurry.
Exactly. That's the way it always works. Ed Benkert, thanks a lot for sharing. We really appreciate it. All righty.
Hey, yeah, thank you, Terry. Have a great day.
You too. Ed Benkert with Nutrient Ag. Farm Service brought to you by Kryjak's House Family Restaurant. If you got to supply the food for an event, here's a number for you, 989-894-5531. They'll have it ready for you. All you got to do is just tell them what you need and how much. And then on the day of your event, you stop by, pick it up. And as we've said before, you will be a hero at your event if you got the food from Kryjak's House. And don't forget, they are a great place to dine in as well. So take a load off that person that works in the kitchen and celebrate, whether it's a birthday, an anniversary, whatever. Kryjak's House will roll out the red carpet for you. Corner of Cass in Michigan on Bay City's south side. Along with us right now, we have Jerry Smolsky.
Yep, that's right.
Jerry, good morning. How are you?
Wonderful, Terry. Yeah, just how it is and how wonderful everything's growing in the water, listening to how the sugar beet crop's doing. Same thing's kind of true with our lawns. Our lawns are doing very well right now, but that doesn't mean we should give up. Matter of fact, even if you want a low-maintenance lawn, a fertilizer or two in the fall season is really the best, even if it's looking good. So if you can get it fertilized, and again, let's not forget about weed control in the fall season also, but keeping that up at this time of year when it's looking good, sometimes people forget about that. Now we'll get it next year. Well, now is the opportunity. You gain that ground, you get ahead of the game, and then if you're not taking such good care of it, it starts going south during the next summer's hot, dry period. But even if you're taking great care of your turf, it's still a great time just to keep that thing up and running. The weather's been great for turf this summer.
As far as insect pressure, have we seen very much on our lawns, Jerry?
Not so much with insects right now. I think we're going to see a little bit of dollar spot and some other fungal diseases, but again, they're not detrimental. If you need to treat them, go ahead. But typically, they'll run their own course and move their way out. And a lot of times, nitrogen, a good fertility application, will help push them through.
Sounds good. Jerry, you take care. Have a great day, okay?
Yes, sir. Plan of the week tomorrow.
You got it. We'll look forward to it. Jerry Samolsky, Bay Landscaping and Garden Center in Essexville. As we mentioned before, there's a lot of events coming up that we will be covering. One in particular, other than the Bean and Beat Day, which is coming up next Wednesday. As we approach the Labor Day holiday, we want everybody to mark down on their calendars the Michigan Bean Festival, which is going to be going on in Fairgrove. That starts on the 1st of September and goes all the way through Labor Day. It's the 77th Annual Michigan Bean Festival. Karaoke, Chi-Town, 3 nights of demolition derby, bump and run, free bean soup, crafters, vendors, Joel Tacey's Michigan Family Funny Man Magic Show, kids pedal pull, cornhole tournament, chicken barbecue, of course, the big parade, again, that's on Labor Day, a live auction, car show, bingo, fireworks, and more. If you'd like to find out all the timing of this, you can go to michiganbeanfestival.org. And also, don't forget, check out the Fairgrove Fire Department's annual pancake breakfast. That's going to be on Sunday, September the 3rd. It starts at 8 o'clock. One other thing that we want to pass along to you, this is an annual event that we really enjoy going to every year. It's the Octagon Barn Fall Family Days. That is scheduled for September the 9th and the 10th. We'll have a lot more information on that as we approach that event. As far as our crop progress goes, what we have seen over the past few days, obviously, is what the precipitation is doing to some of these crops. And right now we are seeing dry beans, which have really been hit hard. So far, statewide, a third of the dry edible bean crop is rated poor to very poor, and only 3% is rated excellent. 23% is good, 43% is fair. The sugar beet crop, 13% is rated poor to very poor. About, the rest of it is rated at least fair, if not better. And the corn crop, about 11% is rated poor to very poor. The soybeans are rated about 10% poor to very poor. So that kind of gives you an idea of where we are with the crops out and about in the area. 70% of our soybeans right now are setting pods. The 5-year average is 73. When it comes to corn, dented, 2% right now is dented. Again, 5% is the average, 10% last year. That is a function, again, of the lower growing degree days. We'll be back with the national anthem in a moment.
How do you make the most of your land? Shaw does it behind the wheel of a John Deere 1025R compact tractor.
Why do I go by Shaw? Shaw stands for skilled hands at work.
And he lives up to the name as he uses his versatile tractor to
make my yard look as beautiful as I possibly can.
But the Hubbards use their 1025R to
do both vegetables and my flowers. It's exciting, putting yourself out there, learning something new.
And with a long list of easy-to-attach implements, ranging from a front loader to a box blade and backhoe, they both can make
the earth take the shape that I want it to take.
There are millions of ways to make the most of your land. How will you make the most of yours? Nothing runs like a Deere. Get a 1 Series tractor for just $130 per month at your John Deere dealer today. For additional cost information, please call toll-free 855-633-2315.
Contact one of Tri-County Equipment's 11 locations in Auburn Hills, Bad Axe, Birch Run, Burton, Caro, Fenton, Lapeer, Marlette, Reese, Saginaw, or Sandusky, or visit Tri-County Equipment online at tricountyequipment.com.
Experience the most reliable RTK signal from PC Ag Solutions, compatible with most GPS receivers. Trade in your old radio or modem and get an affordable subscription through us. We have over 25 base station locations across the Lower Peninsula, and we're always looking to add more to our network. Discover more power, more accuracy, and more coverage with our 450 megahertz signal. Call us to learn more today. PC Ag Solutions, 989-868-4444.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios,